welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Ezinne Williams. How y'all doing? Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are fine. If you're new to this channel, kindly click on the subscription button. Click on the notification bell to let you know whenever I post any new video. Now you know when Ezinne is pumped up like this. This day. So we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Lagos. I think it's the 11th, I mean the 12th episode. Yes, guys. And I think that's like the final episode because they did not show us what's going to be happening next in the next episode. But whichever one shot, it went down. It went down. We're in Dubai. Two best friends clash. It was a possible something. This is the first time I'm actually hearing somebody argue from beginning to end in Queen's English. Chioma, oh, In fact, it was not just Chioma versus Caroline. It was Caroline versus Iyabo, Caroline versus Chioma. Now, I'm going to give you guys the tea on how all this went down. Now, they were in Dubai. They were having so much fun. Toyin invited them on this whole yacht. Is it yacht or yacht? I mean, there was a way Caroline was pronouncing the word. I love it. She was like, yacht. I'm like, okay, some British kind of something. Anyways, Toyin, they're in Dubai because of Toyin's 40th birthday. So Toyin invited them there and they were having fun. I mean, Iyabo was surprised to see Laura because remember the first invite, that Iyabo hosted them. Laura did not come because she said she was afraid of water. And Iyabo was like, I mean, this is also water, so why? What are you doing here? And she was like, oh, I'm here for Toyin. And then, Iyabo went back and forth with her and it was like playful, like they didn't fight. Laura was not the center of attention in this episode, thank God. So, and there were other discussions Chioma had with, what's her name? Iyabo, about man, the kind of man she wants and everything. She says it's not going to be that dating. Lagos guys are good for dating, but not marrying. I'm like, why? That she prefers London guys, but they are CG. I mean, we know that. Anyways, also, Miriam talked about her husband. She talked about it with Caroline and Chioma, and she was crying. Like, her husband was very persistent that she didn't even like this guy. Like, I mean, that's how some of these relationships happen. The person you don't even like, but the person has always been there in your corner, always been there for you. That's the kind of person you should be watching out for, ladies. Anyways, she said that was the case of her and her husband. But what changed her mind was when she had her fibroid surgery, the guy was there. And I mean, she was like, what else am I looking for outside? This is a person that cares about me. It was a beautiful story. She got teary and everything like that. So, during that trip on the yacht, so Toyin was talking with Laura, and then Caroline came in and was like, I need something. And Toyin was like, that's rude. You saw me talking to Laura and you just cut off. That's rude. And Caroline was not having it. In her monologue, she was like, I mean, I'm not a child. Don't be telling me that's rude, and whatnot. Then that went down. And we didn't see anything happen. The next morning, everybody was just acting moody because, I mean, Miriam was like, she doesn't know how she felt that morning. She was feeling some type of way. I actually thought she was sick. I didn't know that something went down that night. Then we got to know what happened when Chioma was on the phone with her family. She called her mom. She called her sister. And she said there was this person she's close with, one of the ladies. And the person kind of like came at the other lady that they also respect. I was thinking, is it Toyin? I said, no, it has to be Iyabo and Caroline. Then it was later we now heard the full gist. So what happened? So that night, Caroline and Chioma were sharing a room. And Iyabo was supposed to like share a place with the hosts, Tiana, that is Toyin. We all knew that from the beginning. Toyin even announced it and they were all cool with it. So Iyabo came in excitedly like, okay, I'm going to the penthouse, whatever, with, Toyin. And then Caroline was like, oh, you're being insensitive and all that. And Iyabo was like, insensitive how? Before you know it, like, shit went down. Iyabo wanted to beat Caroline black and blue. Like, like when I heard the full gist, the thing was, Chioma was now defending, trying to like block Iyabo from hitting Caroline. And they said that Iyabo carried Chioma like this. Even her body like hit the dressing mirror from what they were saying. It was intense. Miriam and Chioma were like trying to like stop Iyabo from like beating up Caroline. And from Laura's own side of what happened. She said she was in her room and then she had like noises. She had to go upstairs, to check out what happened. Then in the room, she saw, Iyabo was like going all out, wanting to beat Caroline. And then Chioma was like telling her to leave, that they are trying to settle something. And she was like, I mean, other ladies are there too, that is trying to settle it. And because it's me, you are asking me to leave. She said, "Oh, it's not her room." So if she had said no, she would have caused drama, and she didn't want to cause any drama in that trip. So she had to leave. People of God, that was what went down. So after that night, it was now Caroline's turn to host them, for this whole Bilonia, whatever. It was really nice. They went, and Caroline is that kind of person that even if she fights with you, when it's time for her to host, she doesn't like see the enmity between both of you. She just wants to have a nice time, and that was what she did. And she was like being very, very pleasant to Iyabo, but Iyabo was not having it. And Iyabo was really pissed. She was like, I mean, the fact that she had to sit there and pretend that they were okay, that's what irks her the most. I'm like, now you are seeing what Laura felt that time that, you guys were like, oh yeah, she had to have fun. Like, basically, and it was like that. They all had fun. Then they had like this bikini, I think, pool party thing. That was where it went down. People of God. So it started with, I think Miriam, Caroline, and Iyabo and Chioma, they were seating. So, and the topic came out, and I think Caroline was apologizing to Iyabo, and then Iyabo was like, "You came at me. Did you have anything in mind against me?" And she was like, "No, it was a transfer of aggression, that she was already pissed about something else, and she transferred the aggression." And before we know what was happening, Chioma was like, "You didn't really want to apologize to her. I had to make you." And Caroline was like, "I wanted to." And Chioma was like, "That apology wasn't genuine, and you know it." And Caroline she wanted to apologize. And Miriam in her monologue said, she doesn't understand why Caroline was lying, because Caroline did not want to apologize to Iyabo. And Iyabo in her monologue said she knew that apology she gave her was not genuine, because after the whole show that happened that night, she came down and kind of knelt her like, "Auntie Iyabo, I'm sorry," like that kind of drama, that she's manipulative and all that. And during Caroline's monologue, she said how many times would she apologize to Iyabo, because like 3 different times she has apologized to Iyabo. She bought gifts for her. Iyabo accepted, and now we are still on this whole back and forth that she doesn't understand it. Like before, like we could say Jack, she went down, people of God, because it became heated that even other people had to like go, like, what's going on? Tiana came down where she went upstairs before to go change, to have her bath. When she came down, she saw these 2 people were going at each other. Hey, they were insulting each other. Caroline was like, "Oh, you didn't even want to hang out with these ladies. You said that these ladies were rats, they were not in your class." And Chioma was like, "Yeah, that was them, but now we're friends." And then before you could say anything, these 2 women were insulting each other. Then it was almost as if, everything kind of died down at some point. But they came together again. That was where Chioma wanted to push, Caroline, and she kind of pushed Iyabo too. What happened? What caused Chioma to do that? It's because when Caroline was insulting Chioma, she mentioned her family. She said her family is, she used nasty words on her family. And even Iyabo was like, no, you don't have that right to insult her family. And to me, that was like a line that Caroline crossed, because even if you're having an issue with people, I always say this, whether it's Big Brother Nigeria or whether it's whatever, do not involve people's family, because the moment you are insulting me, I can take it though, but the moment you call my family, shit will go down. I don't even care. Like, and that thing really, really pissed Chioma off, and they went at each other. And I mean, the next day, Chioma went shopping, to calm herself down. She called her sister, and she was narrating to her sister what happened and all that. The insult. She said, "This comeback of the earth, this ingrate, this." I'm like, Chioma, no. But to be honest, that back and forth was really sweeting me. It wasn't sweeting me because I enjoyed seeing the fight. It was sweeting me because nobody was intimidating the other person. It was a level playing ground, and the fact that Chioma was using English to fight actually made me enjoy the fight more. What's her name? Toyin is a fool. Toyin was like, "No, but tried like comedy, she will be good at it. Trust me. Like the way in her monologue, she was going like at some point I'm like, Toyin, stop now. You're making this fight less serious because I was totally laughing whenever Toyin was talking. And people of God, that was it. They had this bonfire night where Toyin dropped the bomb on us that she is pregnant, guys. She's expecting another baby. I'm like, what? Like, what? That's super cute. Like, it was beautiful. Every lady, like the ladies were happy for her. Caroline was not there, but the other ladies like were happy for her. And Toyin is crazy. She said she was organizing that bonfire to chase out demons from the ladies. And the people that she wanted to be there, one of them is not there. Caroline was not there. She wanted to like, do deliverance for her. But I mean, Laura is here, so no problem. I'm like, Toyin. Anyways, I also think that Laura is pregnant because she was really, really she was not pretending in this one. She was feeling sick, even in the yacht, like Caroline would call it. In the yacht trip or yacht ride, she was feeling sick. Even she couldn't even take the alcohol. She was going to the restroom to throw up. Anyway, that's it. What do I think? See, when two best friends or two close people fight, and especially if they are women, you start hearing secrets. You start hearing, oh, you said this about this one, you said this about this one. And during Chioma's monologue, she said that Caroline has this thing she does. Because at some point, when they were talking about this whole you apologize or not, guess what Caroline said? She said, let's talk about Laura. I'm like, what concerns Laura in this? And Chioma said, Caroline's anger was because the ladies made a pact not to talk to Laura, but because she saw Toyin and Iyabo talking to Laura, she was now pissed, and that was it. I'm like, that's so childish. Like, what did Laura ever do to you? Now it's making everybody believe what Laura said about Caroline, that she's manipulative. It's making everybody believe, all those things that Laura said. It's making everybody believe that all those times that she and Laura had issues, it wasn't Laura's fault. And the fact that Chioma actually now says it, I know, like, she's on Laura's side now. Chioma even went to Laura's room. I'm like, this switch of side like this, Laura should not buy it. So she should just stay on her own, JJ, because these women can switch up on her at any effing time. Yes, guys. So that was it. Like, for me, somehow it felt like Chioma was throwing Caroline under the bus to score chip points with Iyabo and the other ladies. But also somehow Caroline was not ready to take responsibility. She was kind of like diverting. I don't know, that condescending kind of way she kind of looks at people is somehow. And I also think that Iyabo is that kind of a person that she doesn't look for trouble, but if you come for her, she's gonna come full force on you. And I think that Laura is enjoying this fight way too much. Like, I just want her to calm down because these ladies, they can switch up on anybody. So far in this episode, Toyin, I love Toyin in this episode. She made me laugh. Miriam no get wahala. All through the season, Miriam no really get wahala because she even said it that, when she was having a discussion with Toyin, she said if she wanted to have issues, she would have had issues with Laura a long time ago because of that incident that happened in her house where she hosted the ladies, but she doesn't want wahala. So I think Miriam is a softie, seriously, but she's like the life of the party. Caroline and Chioma, Anyways, this is what happened when you form friendship because of your enmity towards another lady. It always goes down like this. Did you watch it, guys? Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Trust me, that has got to be the most interesting episode of the season. Let's see, because they did not, like I said in the beginning, they did not show us any preview for next week's episode. Could this be the end of the season? If it is, I can't wait for the reunion, Sha. Thank you guys so very much for being part of my channel. If you've not already subscribed, kindly click on the subscription button. Click on the notification bell to let you know whenever I post any new video. Until I come your way again, I remain your darling girl, Ezinne Williams. Have yourself a beautiful, wonderful day ahead. Bye, guys!